Caitlin, and this is my anti-milk speech, my persuasive speech for week 3. Here's my audience. Okay. Everyone loves milk. Goes great with cookies, goes great with Oreos. But the only thing is that did you know that we're the only animal that drinks another species' milk? Like, the only animal. I'm here today to actually educate you on the harmful effects of it and how unnatural the consumption of milk is. I'll start at the beginning. About 2,500 years ago, I read in a USA Today article, actually, that they found these farmers that lived out in the Balkans or Central Europe that actually were dairy farmers, and they actually had the gene that was mutated for them to be able to process milk. Now, I guess it's a little hard to understand, so I should probably say it a different way. Probably say it as that in the same article, scientists said that if you are lactose intolerant, that's technically wrong, because what is strange about you is that you can actually process milk. So you should be called lactase persistence, which actually means that you have a persistence to milk, which is how it's supposed to be. People are not supposed to be able to digest milk after the age of, I want to say after you stop breastfeeding, you shouldn't be able to drink it. Now, people think that this mutation spread because everybody drinks milk, but it actually didn't. Studies now show that 60% of the planet is actually lactose intolerant. So, the gene hasn't mutated as much as we thought it did. So the next question is that if we weren't supposed to be drinking it, what's so bad about it that makes it so we can't drink it? Well, I actually got a book by a man named Robert Cohen, and the book was called Milk, the Deadly Poison, which was really strange to me. And in it, he states that milk's a delivery system for the young of the species. And there are actually 59 hormones in milk, in every sip of milk, such as progesterone, oxytocin, prolactin, which I'm sure you've heard of if you've ever been around a newborn baby. They're all hormones to keep the system going, to give the baby all the nutrients it needs. Now, you wouldn't drink pig milk, you wouldn't drink dog milk, you wouldn't drink even breast milk at this age, so why would you drink cow milk? Just because it tastes good doesn't mean that it's necessarily right or good for you. And just because it's been pasteurized or processed in different ways doesn't mean that it even kills those things, because that's what milk is actually made up of, is those hormones. Another scary thing that I read in Cohen's book was the fact that 9 million cows are unhealthy. Most of them have bovine leukemia or have Crohn's disease. And Crohn's disease, there's an actual bacteria that creates Crohn's disease, and in 40 million Americans actually have that, which means that they have Crohn's disease, and it causes them to have irritable bowel syndrome. I actually have a girl that I work with who didn't used to have irritable bowel syndrome until she had a bacterial infection from milk, and now she has it. So anybody with Crohn's disease will test 100% positive for that bacteria that most of the cows have in their milk. And that was actually printed in 1965 National Academy of Science. So it's kind of real science that I'm talking about. I'm not just throwing those out there. A couple other things they've discovered is that milk can cause ear infections. It actually causes a loss of calcium. I have seen in arthritis, if you have candidiasis, it can cause aggravation of that. It can be responsible for infant colic, ovarian cancer, and all those I read in the Epicurean Digest. So if it's unhealthy and it actually complicates a healthy human body, then why is it so hush-hush? Why haven't we outlawed it yet? And that's because when people wonder about the FDA never says anything about it. Well, the FDA only reviews the research that the pharmaceutical companies send them. It's not their job to actually test the milk and find out if it's good. And another thing that they tend to do is they grandfather things in. If it's been done in a long time and nobody's complaining and nobody's hurt, then why not keep it? And the other thing is the government. So why doesn't the government do anything about it? Well, first of all, the government probably has a bigger fish to fry than worrying about us drinking milk. And the other thing is that imagine the amount of money that would be lost if people stopped drinking milk. There would be, the farmers would have a fit. The truck drivers wouldn't be delivering it. The grocery store wouldn't be selling it because we would be purchasing it. It hit everybody. And so why change something if everyone's happy living a lie? It's also very lucrative. The Senator of California, actually, I found a quote on procon.org, which is like a non-partial website that shows the good and the bad of both things. And this quote, he said, milk produced for Americans is from 65,000 dairy farmers, and it represents the second largest agricultural commodity industry in the United States by value. So it's the second biggest thing that we've got going for us. Milk accounted for about 27 billion of cash receipts for producers in 2005, and Americans drink up to 6 billion gallons a year and another 10 billion gallons for cheese. Also, on the site Dairy Farming Today, published a 2000 fact sheet that said that the dairy industry plays a significant role in the economy of the United States. The milk is produced by thousands of milk producers and dairy products, and then is consumed here in America. So we can only imagine how the ripple effect would affect by milk. So it's still being marketed as a healthy, necessary to build strong bones and to build the body. Milk sells really well. It's supposed to make us better. In conclusion, I've told you how cow milk is harmful to the human adult body, how we wouldn't drink it. You wouldn't drink any other dog, pig, mouse, rat, whatever milk you would. So goat, I'm not into goat milk. So why would you drink this now? I've told you how it came into the world, how it's actually a mutated gene, how it's not supposed to be here in the first place, and in fact it's kind of strange that somebody can actually digest it, and how it's unnatural to us, like I just said, and actually causes problems like Crohn's disease or IBS, arthritis, colic. So it's your choice, really. I've made my decision. I'm not going to drink any milk, and in the long run, we can all wipe those hormone-infested bacteria mustaches off of our face, and we can actually admit that milk doesn't do a body good. Thank you. And then my audience will leave.